A disturbing update on Justjules. Justjules is a young YouTube Shorts creator, roughly 15 years old, and she's been making waves on the platform lately. I've mentioned her before in previous discussions. While there's nothing inherently concerning about her content, some unsettling things have emerged about her audience, like creepy comments and suspicions surrounding donations, or, at least, my perspective on the truth behind them. But now, there's more, much more. Disturbing updates have surfaced that I can't ignore. This video will be the final one about her, focusing on the darker side of her audience. How bad can it actually get? Well, after digging deeper since the last video, I've uncovered some truly alarming stuff. And yes, it's possibly worse than anything I talked about before. This will be the definitive update. Picture this. You get the chance to create any kind of content on YouTube. What would you choose? For many people, especially younger creators, it seems like a no-brainer to opt for content like Justjules. It feels like a dream gig, right? She creates fun dances, quirky lip syncs, and lighthearted videos, all while racking up massive views and earning substantial donations with every upload. Her content might appear simple, but what's truly impressive is her ability to pull it off without making it cringeworthy, a skill not everyone has. I can attest to that. Back when I tried posting YouTube Shorts on my channel, it was a nightmare. Let me tell you, those were some cringy times. Young creators and online risks. With the internet becoming more integral to our lives, this isn't the 1970s after all. It's no surprise that more kids are diving into social media and leveraging it to achieve incredible success. Justjules and countless others have proven how much potential platforms like YouTube hold for young creators. But let's be real, this success doesn't come without a cost. Kids who are active online face dangers that are often out of their control. In fact, I'd argue that children on the internet are at an alarmingly higher risk, something like 99%, of encountering unsettling or outright dangerous situations compared to adults. Justjules and many other young creators could be seen as prime examples of this. There are adults out there saying and doing things toward them that are shockingly inappropriate and, frankly, deeply disturbing. Before we dive into the specific examples, let me issue a clear warning. The topics we're about to cover include content that is unsettling and disturbing. If you're sensitive to discussions involving creepy behavior toward kids, this might not be the video for you. Feel free to check out my other videos, which focus on much lighter topics. In the last video, we examined some concerning comments. Unfortunately, those were only the beginning. Digging deeper has revealed just how bad things truly are. These comments made me wonder, shouldn't YouTube have stricter rules in place for creators under 18? At the very least, there should be safeguards against inappropriate comments directed toward young users. It seems like such an obvious need. The reason I felt compelled to make this follow-up video is that there are lingering points from the last one that need addressing. People raised arguments, shared insights, and made comments that I believe are worth discussing further. Ultimately, my goal is to dig deeper into this issue, provide more context, and see if there's any way to shed light on what's really happening here. Let's talk about what can be done about the comments directed at young creators like Justjules. And more importantly, dive into the disturbing bottom of the iceberg when it comes to these creepy remarks, creepy comments, and online safety. In the comments section of my last video, people asked, how bad do these comments actually get? Are they endangering Justjules? The answer, fortunately, is that I haven't seen anything revealing private information about her. At least, not yet. Thankfully, it seems no one has access to her personal details, and I sincerely hope it stays that way. But let's not underestimate how determined some people on the internet can be. There have been countless cases where individuals uncovered someone's private information through seemingly harmless clues. Remember Belle Delphine? I'm not comparing her to Justjules, but the situation is worth noting. Belle was incredibly popular online, and people managed to figure out her address just by looking at the shape of her windows. They showed up at her house, sent her photos of themselves standing outside, flipping her off. It was horrifying. The takeaway? If someone is persistent enough, they can dig up the most random and seemingly insignificant details to find out personal information. It's genuinely terrifying. The phrase, "be careful online," doesn't even begin to cover it. It's easy to think, oh, no one's actually paying attention to me. I'm just making fun little videos. But the reality is far scarier. If you're a popular YouTuber, chances are high that you've been doxxed at some point. Many creators have had their addresses leaked, homes vandalized, or been relentlessly harassed. Once your private details are out there, it's nearly impossible to undo the damage. And for young creators, the risks are exponentially greater. Why? Because kids are more likely to make innocent mistakes online, posting something that inadvertently reveals personal information. And the people targeting kids? They're often far more dangerous and sinister than those harassing adults. Hidden dangers in innocent comments. Sometimes the danger isn't immediately obvious. A comment like, "Where are you?" might seem harmless, but it takes on a deeply unsettling tone when you consider that it could be a veiled attempt to extract personal information. Maybe the person hopes she'd be naive enough to reply, which of course she wouldn't. And then there are the jokes. Let me make this clear. Diddy jokes aren't funny. Some people might label me as woke or say I can't take a joke, but this isn't about sensitivity. This is about kids who have allegedly been assaulted by him, a matter that's in court. Joking about something like that is downright cruel. Imagine being one of those kids and seeing the internet turn your trauma into a punchline. Moving on, let's address another disturbing trend in her comment section: weird emojis. I'm not talking about innocent, playful emojis. These are emojis clearly being used in an inappropriate and suggestive way. Yet when I called this out in my last video, the denial was astounding. I received comments saying things like, "These aren't that common," or "She's fine with it." What are you even talking about? The denial doesn't stop there. Someone actually commented, "You're just mad no one wants to do you." Excuse me? First of all, I'm not the one being discussed here. Second, at no point did I blame her for what's happening. My focus has always been on the behavior of these creepy commenters. Patterns of inappropriate behavior. Now let's talk about another common category of comments in her videos: the "I have a crush on you" remarks. These are everywhere. Let me ask you this. If you see a minor posting content, should you A. comment that you have a crush on her, B. say nothing at all, or C. post inappropriate emojis to imply you like her? If you answered A or C, let's be clear, you're in the wrong. And don't even try to excuse it by saying, "Oh, it's probably just an 8-year-old leaving the comment." No, it's not. Most of these comments come from adults. Grown men in their 30s or older. For example, I came across one comment discussing her physical development. Unsurprisingly, it was left by a 30-year-old man. His profile wasn't hard to find, and he even had a short video posted on his account. Another comment I saw tried to downplay everything with the disgusting phrase, "Age is just a..." Let's pause here because this pattern is undeniable. These comments are not coming from kids. They're from adults who know exactly what they're doing. And that's what makes it so disturbing. Let's pick up where we left off. The disturbing comments on young creators' videos don't just stop at words. Some people, shockingly, try to justify their behavior, hiding behind blank profiles with no videos, just a random name or letter as their account identity. But here's the kicker. Others aren't even smart enough to cover their tracks. They leave incriminating comments and still have public profiles and videos revealing their age. It's utterly baffling. Most of these accounts operate anonymously, but their intentions are glaringly obvious. When I addressed this issue in my last video, the criticism I received was almost laughable. The most common argument? That talking about these comments somehow encourages more of them. Let me be clear, I disagree wholeheartedly. Ignoring this issue only lets it fester. Pretending these creeps don't exist won't protect anyone, especially not young creators. The need for stricter moderation action is necessary, even if it feels like an uphill battle. We need to push platforms like YouTube to enforce stricter comment moderation. Will it fix everything? Probably not, but doing nothing isn't an option. If I had the power to make changes, I'd start with an automatic filter, banning specific words or phrases on channels managed by users under 18. It wouldn't be perfect, but it'd be a step in the right direction. Certain words, no matter the context, should simply not be allowed on these channels. Period. And if someone tries to bypass the system, there should be consequences, account penalties, restrictions, something to deter this behavior. YouTube, in its quest to emulate TikTok with shorts, live streams, and even searchable blue text features, is creating new risks. The thought of them adding DMS like TikTok has? Absolutely terrifying. Can you imagine the volume of creepy messages someone like Justjules would receive? TikTok, for all its flaws, at least enforces strict comment moderation. You can't even call someone an idiot without the comment being flagged. While that level of censorship can be annoying, YouTube could definitely take some notes when it comes to protecting its young users, protecting young creators. And let's get one thing straight, none of this is the fault of the creators being targeted. It's not the fault of Justjules or any other minor that they attract this kind of attention. They did nothing to deserve it. Respecting their boundaries and decisions, like Justjules choosing not to publicly address these issues, is crucial. She doesn't owe anyone an explanation, and her privacy should be prioritized above all else. What I've learned from researching this topic is both heartbreaking and horrifying. The internet, for all its opportunities, has a dark side that's far more prevalent than many realize. This video opened my eyes to things I wish I didn't know. Yes, I knew creepy people existed online, but I didn't grasp just how widespread the problem is. And it's not just about Justjules. There are countless other young creators out there, some as young as 3 or 4 years old, posting content, often under the management of their parents. Many of these parents, knowingly or not, create thumbnails or videos that cater to audiences they should absolutely avoid. The fact that these parents can profit from such content is infuriating. I've seen people in denial about this, leaving comments like, "You're just jealous because you're not getting the same attention." Honestly, it's absurd and deeply troubling. The bigger question. This video isn't here to dissect every inappropriate comment or speculate on how aware Justjules and her family might be. The purpose is to ask a bigger question. Why do these comments exist in the first place? And more importantly, why are they allowed to remain on platforms like YouTube? The truth is hard to swallow. Creepy people exist. They are far more common than anyone wants to admit, and they are dangerously persistent. Ignoring them won't make them disappear. The best we can do is stay vigilant, report inappropriate behavior, and push for better safeguards. It's not just about protecting one creator, it's about addressing a systemic issue that affects countless young people online. Balancing risks and opportunities for creators, especially minors, the internet is a double-edged sword. Yes, it offers incredible opportunities to build a community and share creative content, but it also exposes them to risks that are hard to imagine until you've seen them up close. Reporting, being cautious, and staying informed are essential steps for anyone navigating these spaces. And let's not forget about the parents managing the accounts of very young creators. If you see a 6-year-old in a YouTube short with the comments turned off, now you understand why. These parents, whether they admit it or not, are trying to shield their kids from the worst of the internet. Yet, many remain in denial about how severe the problem is. The comments aren't rare. They're disturbingly common. The bottom line is this: creating online content as a minor comes with risks that shouldn't be ignored. Whether it's creepy comments, doxing, or harassment, these are real dangers. Platforms like YouTube need to step up and do more to protect their youngest users. But until they do, it's up to the rest of us to call out this behavior, demand better safeguards, and support the creators who are brave enough to share their work with the world despite the risks. Yes, this has been a longer and heavier discussion than usual, but it's an important one. These aren't topics anyone wants to talk about, but they're issues we can't afford to ignore. The internet is a powerful tool, but it's also a place where some of the darkest behavior thrives. Only by shining a light on these problems can we hope to make any progress. So the next time you scroll past a YouTube short featuring a young creator, take a moment to think about what they might be dealing with behind the scenes. And if you see something inappropriate, don't hesitate to report it, because as depressing and scary as this topic is, pretending it doesn't exist isn't an option. The best we can do is stay informed, stay vigilant, and keep fighting for a safer online space. Thanks for watching. Share your suggestions in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that move and inspire. Take care.